It's a great day, man. I'm here with Bobby Thomas. And Bobby, we're just gonna jump right in and kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and just how you got in business in general. Just how did that entrepreneur spirit start with you?
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for having me, William. Entrepreneurship for me started years ago. My parents are actually entrepreneurs. But the main thing for me, I actually used to be in corporate America. I used to work for corporate Marriott up in Washington, D.C. Met my wife, moved to Alabama, and when I moved down here, wasn't able to necessarily find a job the way I had hoped for when I moved down. So with that being said, my entrepreneur instinct kind of kicked in and started a little small carpet cleaning business. I'm not sure if you've heard of a coupon company called Groupon, but when they first got started years ago, right around the 2011 timeframe, I had a bright idea of running a Groupon ad and starting a carpet cleaning company. So what I did, I ran the ad with Groupon, and keep in mind, I didn't even own a carpet cleaning machine. This was just a theory. And we ended up selling over $5,000 worth of coupon. I'm like, oh crap, now we gotta go do this work. So
Yeah.
so what we ended up doing was renting a rug doctor from Home Depot. I had a 2000 Honda Accord coupe. We put it in the trunk, man, and we was in business. That's how we got started. From
Yeah.
there we procured uh, you know, better carpet cleaning equipment, and throughout the years continued to grow. Um, right around 2017 is when we transitioned into the restoration space, water, fire, mold, air duct cleaning, and of course continue carpet cleaning as well too. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how we got started into where we are today. Like I said, we got started back in 2011. Been going strong on the restoration side since 2017. We operate in Birmingham, Alabama, in Memphis, Tennessee as well.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. So tell me a little bit about that transition to I guess that was a transition or addition, or you guys only doing restoration now, or do you still do the
No,
carpet?
we still we still consider ourselves a full service company with carpet cleaning and air duct. The transition was in our industry, kind of the next step from carpet cleaning is restoration because you're dealing with higher tickets.
Mhm.
Carpet cleaning, you've probably seen the ads online, $99 3-room carpet specials, things of that nature. And of course, you can do 300. You're hitting the jackpot if you're doing a $400 residential home cleaning, right?
Mhm.
So restoration was appealing to me because you're still dealing with homeowners. You're using a lot of the same equipment that you use in carpet cleaning, as far as like your extractors and air movers and things of that nature, but you're dealing with a whole different element. You're actually billing insurance companies, that the homeowner actually is using. And those tickets are much higher. Instead of looking at a $300 to $400 ticket, now on average, I'm looking at a $3,500 to $5,000 ticket. So that's what really motivated us to kind of switch gears and get into the restoration space.
Okay, okay, makes sense. So along the way, like who has been a mentor or coach for you? Because it seems like going from doing the Groupon ads and getting the rug doctors, it seems like you had to kind of step your game up a little bit. So
Absolutely,
who's helped
absolutely.
you to be able to do that?
Now, I will say this: in the carpet cleaning space, it was a lot of trial and error. There was just a lot of learning on my own. The restoration space, I actually did have a mentor. His name was Jack Dennison, and it's name of his company is called the Restoration Entrepreneur. So I went through his coaching program, and he taught me how to transition into restoration certifications that I had to do, the vendors I had to sign up with, how to meet their qualifications and things of that nature. So he kind of held my hand through that process to get us to where we are today.
Okay, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. Yeah. So, do you think that um, if you try to do it on your own, opposed to working along with him to kind of find out the different things you needed, do you think do you think that by working with him it cut down on some of the time, like that you get there faster? Do you think you got there faster if you were just doing it on your own, trying to implement those things?
Well, I'll say this, as far as the time frame goes, I want to say it still was a slow process.
Okay.
But what I will say that was very informative to me was just the education and information that he had with, you know, actually transitioning into restoration, the certifications that I had to do, all that stuff still takes time. But to me, I was at ground zero. I didn't know any of this stuff. So without his help, I wouldn't have had the information to actually transition. But as far as me doing it on my own, be honest with you, it wouldn't have happened because I didn't know it existed as far as the process that you have to, go through. You have major franchises such as Servpro, Paul Davis, Pure Clean. You have all those companies. They have kind of what you call the secret sauce of what it takes. But Jack kind of gave me the secret sauce without being a franchise and allowed me to still be independent.
Okay. Well, let me piggyback on that. So, Bobby, with you being independent, how are you able to compete with those giants? What's unique about your business? What's enabling you to be able to compete?
Well, one of the things I feel that allows us to compete is that we add that personal touch. We're not a huge conglomerate. We work, one-on-one with all of our customers. I'm sure the other companies do as well too, but you still have a CEO that's extremely active. I'm not off on my yacht somewhere,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
looking at numbers, from a distance. I'm not going to necessarily say I'm in the field, but I'm very hands-on with my team, my director of operations, uh, my general managers and things of that nature. So we know what's going on. Another thing that we do as well, we use highly trained and certified individuals. So one thing that's unique to my business model is we don't hire a ton of people. A lot of companies may hire a ton of, low wage techs at, 12, $14 an hour. We don't do that. Our minimum starting salary is about 52,000 a year. Um, Basically means that we're hiring individuals that have the certifications and qualifications that we need. So one thing that my staff really likes about, Extreme is that, you know, I'm a firm believer of putting money back to the field and putting it back into my guys' hands. So if I have individuals qualified to do the job, there's no need to pay a bunch of low wage individuals, and I have highly skilled individuals to do the job. So that's kind of what separates us is that we really focus on high quality, highly trained individuals. I have ex adjusters on my team. I have one of my general manager. His name is Ian Jenkins. He actually was a senior adjuster for Progressive, and we actually have another gentleman named Antonio. He's actually a master water restorer. So through
wow,
the IRCRC, so we have highly trained individuals that are on our team.
yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. So, let me ask you this: were you doing this business during COVID?
Absolutely,
Were there
absolutely.
any particular challenges, or were there any challenges during the pandemic?
We actually didn't face any challenges during the pandemic. I want to say restoration is one of the most um, recession and virus resistant businesses that you can be in. Because if you think about it, man, disasters happen in people's homes all the time, whether it's a water damage, a fire, things of those nature. So those type of things are going to happen, and business doesn't stop. Believe it or not, last year we actually went to Louisiana. New Orleans did Hurricane Ida as well too. Like I said, all this is still going through COVID. We took our necessary COVID measures, but our business didn't slow down a beat.
That's awesome. So, what are some of the challenges that you guys face? Like, what are the challenges that your business particularly faces?
I guess you can say some one of the going back to what I was saying before, one of the challenges that we do face, um, I touched on, having highly trained individuals. We have highly trained individuals, but it's extremely hard to find those individuals as well too. So in my business model, it's tough to find those individuals. And when you do, you have to really make sure that you're really feeding into them, building a strong company culture, and that they understand the vision of the company. So I think that's something that a lot of companies are facing now. You have what's called quiet quitting. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah, yeah,
You have individuals that just haven't gone back into the workforce because they're just kind of fed up with the low wage jobs. But you know, and that's something about my industry, man. It's not necessarily a niche or industry you go to school and learn about. You don't know what's there if it's not in front of you. And that's essentially what we have.
yeah. So, That's very interesting. Very interesting. Because I'm my mind just be working. Because so I'm thinking about the educational piece, as far as getting that out there to let people know that there are jobs available, if they can do the training and learn about
Mhm.
this particular industry, that's interesting because a lot of people they want good jobs like what you're saying, and they only think that they only know what they know, so they don't know that hey I can get this training, I can learn about this, and this is a job that maybe um, it's going to pay me well. So maybe it's the educational piece there. Let me ask you this: what have you learned from starting out? I keep going back to group. That's a good story, man. Going back to group, starting out with that and getting to the place where you are. What have you learned about yourself, and what have you learned about business in general?
One thing I can truly say that I've learned about myself is being able to, like I said, coming from corporate America and being in management, you think that you know how to manage individuals and manage companies and things of that nature. But when you're truly an entrepreneur and you're really managing people and it's your baby, it's a little bit different. So I've really learned how to really gauge individuals on the team, really understand them, and really get to know them. You know what I mean? Because it's not just you're walking into a job and I'm clocking out anymore. This is what we do. So that's one of the things that I've learned about myself. And then also, a thing about business is I can say one of the biggest takeaways I've learned about business. Um, it's a constantly evolving uh, terrain. Let's say that there's nothing that always stays the same. So you have to be willing to change with the times, whether it's technology, whether it's different skill sets that you have to learn. There's things that are always changing. One thing that you want to be as an entrepreneur is always learning. I mean, I'm be honest with you. I was one of them kids that didn't like school either, man. I was a kid in kindergarten. I've been ready to go home since kindergarten, but but at the same time, I tell my son the same thing. You know, our society teaches go to school, go to college, and get a good job. But the thing is that general knowledge will get you a job, but specialized knowledge will make you rich. And that's one thing that I've learned is how to acquire specialized knowledge and apply that, and it's done very well for us.
That's awesome. So, what's your vision for as you guys have, now taking on the restoration business? You say you have another location in Memphis. What's the future hold for you guys?
Yeah, man, I'm glad you asked that, man. Be honest with you, we're actually going to open a third corporate location in Maryland next year.
Okay,
In the Prince George's Montgomery County area,
it's a
and then
nice
after
area.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, I like I said, I lived in the DC Baltimore area for years, man, and so after that, we're in the process of going through the franchise registration now,
Okay.
and from there we'll start franchising the company out. So we're looking to grow Extreme nationwide.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. So what I know you said with the restoration, of course somebody has had some type of crisis or something that's happened, some type of peril that's happened in the home. But is it um outside of that, do you guys have any other like target customers? Is that maybe they don't like, I guess I'm asking, is it a target customer that you have outside of the direct peril that has happened? Like, that might need some of your services.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because with the restoration stuff, that's not necessarily. It's a different element. We have major contracts with all the insurance companies, and essentially we just pick our telephone up and go to work with that
Mhm.
because those are insurance claims. But outside of that, with our service piece, like I said, the air duct cleaning and the carpet cleaning and things of that nature, we focus on higher disposable incomes like most companies would that can afford our services and also provide so that we can provide the best services. Now we service every single body, everybody that's in the market. But as far as targeting, it's always better to target, the individual that has a higher disposable income, because they're more likely to be able to pay for your service and want your service. That's one of the things I learned back in the day when I first started carpet cleaning, you know, doing those $99 carpet cleaning specials, just trying to get any and everybody I could on the telephone so we can get an appointment. But today, that's not as important. What's more important is the quality, type of job that you get, and the type of customer that you're getting. So you want that person that has, like I said, that higher disposable income, so that you can add that additional value to what they're looking for.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So, Bobby, I just got two more questions for you, man.
No, go ahead.
One is like, what advice would you give uh, entrepreneurs? Like, what advice would you give someone um, that's starting out in business, or maybe that's been in business just for a short period of time, or I guess at any level? What's some general things that maybe some couple nuggets that could be applied across any industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in business, one thing I would say, man, is to a lot of people like to research and try to get perfect at what they're looking into. I would highly advise against that. What my advice would be is to, whatever you're going to do, jump into it, because more than likely, the way your mind is designed, you're going to overanalyze and talk yourself out of doing stuff. And because you're going to start looking at the negatives. I mean, you have to look at it like this. As an entrepreneur, you're standing on the cliff and you're jumping off of it. And you're going to hit those bumps and bruises on the way down. But I guess at some point, man, that parachute's going to open up for you. So that would be one of the main things, is just step into action. Don't procrastinate. Just do it. I'm sure you've heard the saying that, one of the richest places on earth is the cemetery. And that's absolutely true, because all the ideas, books, businesses that were never started, but there was greatness inside of all those people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, I heard that. I think when I was younger, I'm not gonna say I'm old, but yeah, I think I read a book it was a Miles Monroe book. I don't know if you familiar with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they had that in there. I was like, wow, that's something to think about.
yeah.
So how can people find, I guess the last question, how can people find you guys online or social media? Maybe it's someone that's looking into your guys' services to do business with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I mean, they can go to our website and check it out. It's www.extreme, extreme services, serviceus.com. So they can go to our website, and they also can call us at the office at area code 205-907-6081. And they can also go to the iicrc.org website and find us as a certified firm on their website as well too.
okay. And just one little follow-up question to that, but what type of people outside of just the customers that would be using your services directly, what other people would you like to meet or talk to? Who else could help you as uh, go further along in the vision that you have for your company? Is anybody out there, any type of person that you might be looking forward to talking to?
Yeah, absolutely, man. As a company, we're always looking to grow. We're always interested in, speaking with property managers, apartment complexes, hotels, any type of business that can use our services, because it's not just residential spaces that have catastrophes or need carpet cleaning or air duct cleaning services. So we're open to helping the entire community, even on the commercial side. So we're looking to work with everybody.
Okay. Hey, it sounds good. Hey, but thank you for taking the time to do this, man. I really enjoyed it. So thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Thanks for having me, Will. You've been great, man.